An early good evening on what has been a hot Monday, as expected. No records that I'm aware of in the Willamette Valley. We stayed in the mid 90s, generally speaking, and records this time of the year, generally speaking, are 100 degrees or higher. And I don't have any big changes from what we talked about the other day, but I will take you through it. I'm meteorologist Rod Hill coming to you from my home up in Vancouver, Washington. So on the left is the Oregon Washington watch warning map from weather.gov. And everything in orange, which includes the Dalles out through Pendleton, up through much of central and eastern Washington, is a heat advisory through the day tomorrow, through Tuesday, basically for 100-degree temperatures. Now, if you're watching us from Pendleton, for example, your temperatures are expected to be hotter tomorrow than they were today. Now, this other color, kind of magenta or pink is tone, is a red flag warning. Notice this is in Central Oregon for high fire danger, and this is connected to thunderstorm activity potentially this evening and potentially again tomorrow. This is courtesy of KGW TV, where you see the Futurecast model right here, and these will be potential thunderstorms tomorrow evening scattered. And of course, thunderstorms, lightning, the threat is the lightning will cause naturally new fire starts. So that's a big concern because that thunderstorm chance looks like it's going to be with us for several days to come. Okay, all of this brought to you by the Momentous Wealth Podcast. If you like podcasts and you're interested in educating yourself on a number of financial topics, generally related to retirement planning, that sort of thing, listen to Apple Podcasts or Spotify, the Momentous Wealth Podcast. Okay. We thank them very much. Here's the old fashioned from the Weather Service climate report. So these aren't the official highs. In some cases, the actual high temperature when the final report comes out tomorrow morning might be nudged upward a degree. But as of 5:30 this afternoon, when this came out, 67 in Astoria, 92 Kelso, Scappoose 93, Vancouver 94, PDX 94. The Weather Service office, which is just on this other side of 205 from the airport, 96. Downtown Portland, 92. Troutdale, 96. Aurora, 96. McMinnville and Salem, 97. Corvallis, 93. Eugene, 96. Wow, 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 wow. Generally stayed in the 60s at the coast. There's Medford hitting 100 degrees today. There is you folks in the Dalles hitting 100 degrees today. Bend hit 95. Temperatures generally well up into the 90s. Let's see, hottest temperature recorded today, Medford and the Dalles at 100 degrees. Okay, all right. Here is what the National Blended Model shows for high temperatures starting tomorrow. Now, remember here on the west side, today was the hottest day. Tomorrow we're still going to be toasty, but it's going to come down, I think, at least 5 degrees. So this shows up and down the Willamette Valley, there could be a 90-degree temperature. Otherwise, upper 80s, 87, 88, 89, 85 up in Kelso Longview, mid 80s up in Seattle. Here's where the heat advisory is still in play for Tuesday. Look at the 100, 101, 102 up into the Columbia Basin, and still 93, 94 in Deschutes County. So that's tomorrow. Now, if I play this into Wednesday, heat advisories for parts of eastern and Oregon and Washington expected to expire. Still hot, but notice the modeling is saying more like 95, 94, 97. So we'll lose the triple digit heat. And then Wednesday is the big cool off day for the Willamette Valley. Tomorrow, maybe not 90, but well up into the 80s. Wednesday, look at this 79, 80, 81. All models show this, mid 70s up in Seattle. And then we stay pretty comfortable. Here's Thursday. If you look at the Willamette Valley, 78, 77, 79, 80 at most, 74 up in Kelso Longview, upper 80s out in the Columbia Basin. Here's July 4th. Still really comfortable. 78, 79, 80. So some of the weather modeling is actually backed off temperatures for July 4th. I mean, it's possible, if you look at this, that Wednesday, Thursday, July 4th could all be 77 to 80. Boy, that would just be great weather, right? And then you've got generally staying under 90, it looks like, in the Columbia Basin. This will go into the weekend. Here's Saturday, 80, 81 up and down I-5, 90s out in the Columbia Basin, low 80s over in Bend, 77 or so up in Seattle. And here's the final day of the upcoming July 4th weekend. Seattle, upper 70s to 80, low to 82, 84 around Portland down into Salem, lower 90s out in the Columbia Basin. That's not bad. That is really not bad. I'm sure you will agree. All right. Now, I mentioned a thunderstorm threat for southern Oregon and potentially migrating up toward Sun River or Bend this evening. Here is a radar at 6:30 tonight. This is active thunderstorm activity coming out of Northern California around the Medford area. Weather models fade these storms away about the time they start nearing Sun River. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on all of this. By the way, when I did KGW News at sunrise this morning, it was foggy up and down the coast. And I wasn't sure as a forecaster that the fog banks were going to clear and back off. Well, they mostly did. Here's a visible picture showing some fog along the southern Oregon coast for the most part, but up north, it really cleared out. Okay, let's talk about thunderstorms. And this is courtesy of KGW TV. You see the thunderstorms down around Medford that we just saw on radar. This is 7 o'clock this evening. I think I can play this. Now, here it is tomorrow at 5 p.m. More thunderstorms, a better chance to get up into Sun River and Bend. And it's going to play Wednesday. Now, Wednesday, the thunderstorm threat, according to this model, courtesy of KGW TV, is more off to the east. But again, you get the idea. Several days in a row of parts of southern and central to eastern Oregon under the gun for late day thunderstorm activity with the potential of lightning strikes starting new fires. So that's going to be watched really, really carefully. No doubt about that. Okay. These are 6 o'clock numbers, still 91 in Portland and Salem, still 97 down in Medford. Let's go around the horn. So all dry. Medford, 96 tomorrow, 90 Wednesday. There's some cooling, more comfortable weather. 88 Thursday, July 4th, 87, and then warming back up into the first part of next week. Okay. Modeling is all really consistent on showing what this is telling you. Here's Ben, that thunderstorm threat tomorrow. Maybe the storm chance Wednesday's farther east. Cooling weather, 96 tomorrow, 81 on July 4th, getting back up close to 90 to start next week. Okay, Pendleton, what do we got? 95 right now, 100 degrees tomorrow. You're in that heat advisory. But there's the cool off, 93 Wednesday, 87 by Friday, and then getting back up into the 90s on Sunday and to start next week. Okay, all right. Up in Seattle, 84 right now, about the same tomorrow, 83. And then cooler Wednesday, 75, and then mid 70s on July 4th and mid 70s through the weekend. Really nice, comfortable weather. Good grief, right? Can't ask for more. Here's Salem, 90 tomorrow, still a possibility, but cooler than it was today. And then the big drop in temp is Wednesday, 81, then around 80 into Independence Day, and then a little bit warmer going into the first part of next week. But really pretty good weather. Let's see here, Tuesday, mostly cloudy and then some sun. Wednesday, same thing, some clouds and then some sun. Independence Day on the South Oregon coast, mostly sunny, 62. Let's go up north. Astoria, decreasing clouds Tuesday afternoon, a lot of clouds Wednesday, partly sunny, 66 Independence Day. There you go. There's your Independence weekend forecast. Okay. Here's Portland's 7-day forecast. Now I'll let you go. Hazeldale Tire Pros, courtesy of up here in Hazeldale off of the I-5 side in Clark County. 88 tomorrow. Maybe we hit 90. It's possible. I'm looking at my notes. It's definitely more of a northwest flow pattern tomorrow. The overall air mass isn't as warm, but it was 94 today, 88 tomorrow, maybe 90. There's a big drop in temperatures, 80 on Wednesday, Thursday, maybe upper 70s, and maybe these days have some low clouds to start. I'm not sure. Independence Day, kind of partly cloudy, 82, comfortable weekend, just really nice weather. Wow. All right. Again, I'm Rod Hill. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. You'll be notified when I post. It helps me out, and I will talk to you soon.